Shalom. First and foremost, want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shah, by Hashem Kakudash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS, the Ruel. Peace, love, and salutations to all the brothers out there pushing this word of sincerity and the truth. Shalom to the brothers, sisters, and children out there keeping this word of sincerity and the truth. Okay, I wanted to go into this quick lesson, going into this article published 2 hours ago. This is seemingly after Trump had made his statements about they come to a ceasefire agreement for 2 weeks on both sides of the Iran and U.S.-Israel war. After previously saying that he was finna obliterate a whole civilization, It says Donald Trump says Americans will be protected after threatening to kill a whole civilization in Iran. It says Trump later postponed his deadline, claiming he would agree to a 2-week ceasefire with Iran if the Strait of Hormuz is reopened in the new Truth Social post. Now, need to know, President Trump assured Americans not to worry after threatening to kill off the whole civilization of Iran. U.S. citizens will be well protected because of me, Trump, 79, said Trump had given Iran until 8 p.m. Eastern time to open the Straits of Hormuz. However, he said in a later Truth post that his administration will agree to a 2-week ceasefire with Iran if the strait is reopened. He said President Donald Trump doesn't think the Americans should worry amid his open threats against Iran. So just to give a little more information, in a Tuesday, April the 7th phone call interview with Politico, Trump said that his strategy when it came to the ongoing U.S.-Israel war is all I think about. The war began on February 28th. U.S. citizens will be well protected because of me, he told Politico. The attempt at comforting the nation comes after a shock statement that the president posted on social media in the early morning hours of April 7th. Today, it says a whole civilization will die tonight, never to be brought back again, Trump said in the Truth post, social post. I don't want that to happen, but it probably will. So the point that I wanted to harp on was how he was saying that whole civilization gonna die, but Babylon the Great, America, is gonna be protected, and how they're making, he's making all these open threats against Iran as if Iran doesn't have allies, and like Babylon the Great has not talked about ditching their allies. This is Revelations 18, and now I really want to go into the whole chapter, but I'm gonna kind of just hit the points. I'm not gonna make it too long. I'm just kind of hit some of the main points. So this is Revelations 18, starting at 1. And after these things, I saw another angel from come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, and it's become the habitation of devils, and a hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. And the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. See, Babylon the Great has done all these deals and made all these agreements with these other countries and spread their democracy and westernization to these other countries. And these other countries have taken on the same mentality, the people, the political leaders, and even the civilization, the people, have taken on a lot of the Western culture. And that's why you have a lot of rebellion in the other countries. The other nations, they'll be trying to rebel against their government. And, it ain't always because the government is trying to oppress the people. But a lot of times it's because what they trying to do is the same stuff that they doing over here. But them people ain't going for it, So, let me see. We jump down, starting at verse 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, "Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues." Meaning, and it started with the elect. Well, this is the elect, because 2/3 of our people are going to get caught up in the judgments from Yahweh Shema B'Shah in this place. But it said, "Come out of her, that you be not partaker of her sins, and receive not of her plagues." That's letting you know that the Lord is going to specifically touch this place. It is not going to be pleasant judgments. It says, "For her sins have reached into heaven, and the Most High have remembered her iniquities." Verse 5 in the AMP. "For her sins, crimes, transgressions have piled up as high as heaven, and the Most High have remembered her wickedness and crimes for judgment." Now verse 6 in the AMP. "Repay to her even as she has repaid others, and pay back to her double her torment in accordance with what she has done, and in a cup of sin and suffering which she makes a double portion of perfect justice for her." Trump, he making all these threats to these countries, and then he tell the American people that they're gonna be well protected. But these countries ain't taking, especially Iran, they're not taking this lightly. They are not taking this lightly. They don't just look at this as he literally threatened to blow up a whole civilization. Not even concerned with the civilians that'll get caught in the aftermath of it. But that's how Babylon the Great roll. They ain't worried about your citizens. They get caught up in it too. They don't even care about their own citizens. So how much more this, or how much more another country, especially when they're not Edomites. It says, verse 7, "To the degree that she glorified herself and reveled and gloated in her sensuality, living deliciously and luxuriously, to the same degree imposed on her torment and anguish and mourning and grief. For in her heart she boasts," which is her mind, "I sit as a queen on the throne, and I am not a widow, and will never ever see mourning or experience grief." So the Lord said, as much as this place has thrived and became this great country that people so proudly wanted to be in and be a part of, now bring that same level of destruction to this place. Verse 8, "For this reason, in a single day, her plagues, afflictions, calamities will come, pestilence and mourning and famine, and she will be burned up with fire and completely consumed. For strong and powerful is the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashim Abashah, who judges her." This doesn't sound like the people over here in Babylon the Great is going to be protected. But the Lord, he's going to deliver the elect out of this so that they don't get caught up in the judgments that he got coming to the place. But everybody else is going to be destroyed in the judgments that the Lord has coming to Babylon the Great. Now, all of this is good and go along with it. But like I said, I'm going to jump to verse 20. "Rejoice over her," in the AMP, "O heaven, and you saints, the Most High's people, which are the Israelites," starting with the elect, "and apostles and prophets who were martyred, because the Most High has executed vengeance for you through righteous judgment upon her." Then a single powerful angel picked up a boulder like a great millstone and flung it into the sea, saying, "With such violence will Babylon the Great be hurled down by the sudden spectacular judgment of the Most High will never again be found." So the Lord said, look, just like this great millstone was thrown into the sea, into this water, just how Babylon the Great is going to be thrown down with violence, and it's never going to rise again. "And a sound of harpists and musicians and flutists and trumpeters will never again be heard in you." The music industry and the entertainment industry, all of this is going to be thrown down. It's being thrown down now. And no skilled artisan of any craft will be found again, will be ever again be found in you. And the sound of the millstone grinding grain will never again be heard in you. For commerces will no longer flourish, and normal life will cease. See? And this is the times we're coming into. Everything is fin to cease. Babylon, just like he said, a whole civilization is finna end. Well, this is what the Lord is actually saying gonna happen to this place. The whole civilization is literally going to end. And the only people who's going to escape is the elect, out of Babylon the Great, verse 23. And never again would a light of a lamp shine in you, and never again would a voice of the bridegroom and the bride be heard in you. For your merchants were the great and prominent men of the earth, because all nations were deceived and misled by your sorcery, your magic, spells, and poisonous charm. So the Lord saying, look, you the reason why the earth is this is the central hub of Babylon, of wickedness. Babylon the Great is the central hub of all wickedness. And you the reason why all these other nations are going astray, including the nation of Israel. So now that same degree of judgment has to come to you. All these other nations was following after your example of wickedness. So now you're finna be example of what rebelling against the Lord gets you. Example to all the other nations, verse 24. And in Babylon was found the blood of the prophets and of the saints of the most high's people, and of all those who have been slaughtered on the earth. So I just wanted to go into a quick lesson, because like he said, the people of Babylon the Great is gonna be protected, but that ain't what the scriptures say. The scriptures go into people over here is in grave danger, and we of the hopeful elect are trying and hoping and praying that Yahweh shall have mercy upon us. Lord, will we of the elect, that he'll have mercy on us so that we can escape these judgments. But Lord, will us edify, keep it short. On that note, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of GMS that rule well. Peace, love, and salutation to all the brothers out there pushing this word of sincerity and the truth. Shalom to the brothers, sisters, and children that they're keeping this word of sincerity and the truth. Until next time, shalom.